I am so pleased to welcome you all to the Pacific Research Platform Symposium about the legacy and promise of this project that we've been working on for the last 6 years. We have an amazing lineup of speakers and really wonderful partners who have been able to bring the Pacific Research Platform to what it is today from what it was 5 or 6 years ago. I'm Camille Crittenden. I'm Executive Director of CITRIS and the Banatao Institute and also a co-PI of the PRP. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. We have the agenda overview here on the screen. We're excited to have Larry Smarr, the PI, offer a keynote about the PRP. We're really pleased to have an excellent set of stories from the domain sciences coming up after that. That will be moderated by Jeff Weekly, who's been a terrific partner when he was at Merced and now at UC Santa Cruz and all throughout the PRP. And really so grateful for all of the faculty members and researchers who are joining us today to share what they were able to accomplish because of the PRP over the last number of years. We'll take a short break after that, and I'm really excited to introduce, and you all are here to see the premiere screening of the that was created in-house at CITRIS by our multimedia manager, Adriel Olmos, with a lot of contributions from Larry Smarr and others. Charlie Irwin from UC San Diego and Julie Salmons from CITRIS also pulled everything together to make a really excellent 7-minute encapsulation of what the PRP has been able to accomplish. Then after that, we'll come back and Ann Kowalczyk at UC Merced will moderate a panel from the technologists, the networking engineers, and the research consultants who have really built out the infrastructure of the PRP and really helped to make those connections for the folks who will use it day to day. Finally, we're excited to have a couple of quick lightning talks that will be moderated by Chris Hoffman, who's here at UC Berkeley. We'll hear from Tom DeFanti and Anna Hunsinger from Internet 2, both of whom have been tremendous contributors. And Tom is a co-PI and has really led the charge on many, many aspects of the PRP, including into the future. And you'll hear what that's going to look like. Finally, we're so honored and pleased to have Amy Walton here, our program officer from the NSF, to offer her reflections on what the PRP has accomplished and where the program is going. So thank you again for joining us. I have been honored to be a co-PI on the Pacific Research Platform. So it has been a tremendous pleasure to work with the team of folks who were pulled together. If you cast your minds back to 5 or 6 years ago, that was quite a long time in any era, but especially in technology and especially with everything that's transpired over the last year or two to pull together what has been created through the PRP and the tremendous advances in network engineering, with Larry leading the charge, but with great partners from UC Irvine, from UC San Diego, especially from the Open Science Grid and the whole community of networking engineers. We'll get back on track here. One thing that I'm really excited about is how the PRP was able to really build a community around network engineering, that we have always had a profession along those lines in various stages of development at the different campuses, and you'll hear more about that from Amy and from Larry. But one thing that we have been able to contribute through the PRP is by having really regular meetings with all of the network engineers from throughout the Pacific region to really build not only the infrastructure of the PRP, but those really personal relationships that, as anyone working in a large complex organization knows, are so essential to the smooth operation of any large enterprise. Not just the network engineers, but also our partner organizations like CNIC have been really essential to making the PRP a success. And we're really delighted and honored that we have President and CEO of CNIC, Louis Fox, to provide an introduction to our keynote speaker, Larry Smarr. So I will hand the baton over to Louis.